Well, happy Friday, everybody. It's DJ Bretley, and I'm doing yet another day in the life of the week in the life of a DJ. It's Friday, almost 12 noon. I got my two dogs down here fighting below my legs. Beat it, dog. And yeah, getting ready to head on over to Celebrations on the River for today's wedding. I'm at home all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be all around the cross. Excuse me, which is a really good thing. I'm pretty pleased about that. And so my weddings are all prepared, and I'm actually right now uploading my sets from last night at Legends. I'm converting them to MP3 so I can put them online to my Mixcloud page, which is right here. And from there, I do this. I put up and record almost all of my sets. And so today, we are putting up last night's sets. As you would think that my shepherd is just like decimating the chihuahua. But Hunter's got a loud mouth. And Daisy, the puppy, just needs to stop. But anyway, so I'm about to put my sets up online from last night. And then from there, I'm going to load the car up and get heading on over, really, to Celebrations on the River. It's on French Island, just a little south of Onalaska. Daisy, no. And I'm doing the entire day, ceremony through the end of the reception today. And I believe I'm in the new room at Celebrations. I'm not sure, but I think I'm in the new room. Hoping I'm in the new room, because I want to be in the new room at some point. And then tomorrow, I'm at Pettibone Resort for another wedding, and I'm only doing the reception for that. But I got a funny feeling that might change when I show up. So yeah, I'm all prepared for that. And now I'm just getting ready to go load my car up and get moving to the gig. Now, like I said yesterday, I had to fix some speakers. And thank you to Full Compass, based out of Madison. I've got both my speakers redone. Here's the handle that broke, which I fixed a couple days ago. And this is the speaker I took completely apart, replaced the tweeter in it. So now I am fully ready to go with my good set of speakers for today and the weekend. Yes, I'm always trying to keep my sound good. Not going to lie. I want my DJ gear to be the best it can be and take as good care of it as I can. And even though I have fixed my speakers, I've made the decision that for 2020, I want to upgrade to a pair of double 15 speakers that I can bi-amp. So I'll have to carry around 2 amps or something like that. But I'm going to start working with a pair of double 15 EVs. And I'm going to be picking those up probably in the next few weeks. Plus, with Tavern 129 coming up, and I know I need some volume there, New Year's Eve at the W in Madison, and some of these bigger gigs I'm picking up, I definitely want to have more sound reinforcement and be a little bit louder or have more of a full sound. Not necessarily louder. Full would be the right word to go with. And yep, that's time of the morning. I smoke a lot. Sorry, if you book me, just know I'm a heavy smoker. Not going to change it. Don't even want to at this point. At 46 going on 47. And with my dad's practicality behind me, the better days are definitely behind me at this point with as hard as I partied in my early 20s. Or even a couple years ago. Yeah, I still smoke. But so yeah, today I was at Legends in Rochester last night. And I'm pretty sure after last night, there's going to be some changes coming to the DJ Bretley booking schedule and what I'm working on and where I'm going. I'll probably explain a little bit more about this on Monday. I'll make a Facebook post about it all shortly, but there's going to be some new changes coming to the DJ Bretley gig schedule, which I'm thrilled about, actually. For starters, for 2019, I'll be heading back up to Cahoots in Menominee. Yes, it's almost a 2-hour drive, but it's the University of Stout, and those kids party real hard. Jesus. The last time I was up there, I had to stay at somebody's house up there. Woke up at like 7:30 in the morning wondering where I was. Thank you, Garrett. That was awesome. But yeah, so I'm going to be DJing back up at the Cahoots in Menominee, University of Stout. I'll also be going back up to Wausau for 2020. I missed the Glass Hat, and it was one of the other residencies I had right when I really started delving into this full on. And the reason I want to be back up in those two areas is I got a lot of weddings out of those two areas for 2018, and a couple for this year. And my thought process being, if I'm going to keep doing the DJ thing in the Driftless area or around here, is that I want to keep my brand expanded out to these markets. So if I'm trying to be at least a night or two a month, and every one of the markets around me is my objective. So Rochester, I've got Legends, and that let's see here, and Dooley's. In Winona, I'm DJing at Tavern 129, which is the old Brothers in Winona. It's pretty cool, but the floor bounces real hard. That was a whole lot of fun holding onto my gear. I also have a residency here at the Driftless Arcade in La Crosse. That's every Wednesday night, but it's a little bit more for karaoke than anything else. But if it's dead and people want to dance, or if people just want to dance, I'm more than happy to spit a dance set or 80s hits, whatever they want to hear. Then, let's see, I also have a residency here in town at Who's on 3rd, and that's down the way, downtown, just a little bit north of my residency at the Driftless Arcade. So I'm at both ends of the downtown strip in La Crosse. I'm also at City Sounds in Prairie du Chien, and it's been one of my longest running residencies since I left Legends here in La Crosse. And honestly, it's one of my favorite rooms down that way. It's a super cool room. And when that place hops, it really hops. So those are some of the residencies I've got going on. Then for New Year's Eve, like I said, I'm down at W in Madison. And I'm not allowed to announce yet because, I mean, they are more or less confirmed. But I'll be back in Madison once or twice a month, or at least once a month for 2020, as I'm trying to push out again a little bit further. And there's some talks of me going down to the Dells once a month. So, the only market I'm really not tapping into around here right now is Eau Claire. And at some point I'm going to revisit that market. But for now, I'm going to take work with what I've booked and keep this whole DJ thing, or solidify it, and notch out my brand just a little more. So it's solid in this market, and when you come to hire me starting soon, I'm trying to brand out so the wedding gigs I take are a little bit more club-oriented. I get a good chunk of the club-oriented wedding gigs, don't get me wrong. But I would definitely like to branch out solidly where I'm only really doing club-style weddings and have the option, if I really want to turn down certain weddings. There's some weddings I've taken which I did great at, but my heart's not in it. It's not something I really want to do anymore. So as I get further into the DJ thing, the gigs I take, I really want to put more into it and feel like I'm putting more into it and not leaving anything behind on the table or leaving anything out. So now that I've got my gig schedule, knock on wood, or something, kind of where I want it, I want to make sure it works for me, for Mirabelle, my daughter, because she's why I'm living in La Crosse. And it does everything it's supposed to do for myself, and first and foremost, the venues. So, with that in mind, when I book gigs, I really want to make sure that I'm doing right by the venue. And that's something people don't think about as a DJ. They only see you as a DJ spitting tunes, having fun, for me, being an ass clown on the mic occasionally. But the one thing that everybody has to think of who's a DJ is this is a business. Bottom line, it is a full-on business, and I work 6 to 7 days a week no matter what. If I'm not in a club, rest assured, like right now, I've been doing a few odds and ends on my computer, getting a few more things prepared for the weekend. For example, the last touches on my slideshow for the expo. But this is a full-time business, both for the venue you're working at as well as yourself. So, with that in mind, anytime I go into a venue, it could be a wedding venue or a bar. First and foremost, check in with the staff. Say hi. Make sure everything, then go set up. Get everything going. The next thing I want to do after I've gotten myself set up, done a quick sound check, checked everything out, make sure I'm ready to go, is go back to the bartenders. I want to find out, for starters, in bars or clubs, what the special of the day is. Anything I need to announce. Any new things coming up I need to announce. If the venue has shows or other DJs coming in. I'm more than happy to promote whatever is going on in the venue that I'm DJing at, as well as promoting myself. So I want to make sure I'm in their good graces as well. And that's one of the reasons as a DJ, I do follow the BPM curve still. The BPM curve, when you start at a slow BPM, work your way up to about 150 BPM and crash it down. You want to drive business back to the bar, but also keep the dance floor working. So any DJ who doesn't try to drive people back to the bar that is working in a club needs to reevaluate that, because the first and foremost thing is the bar needs to make its money. Otherwise, it's an exercise in futility of trying to bring entertainment in if the bar doesn't make money. Therefore, the BPM curve, like I said. Now, for wedding venues, I'm a little bit different. I check in, obviously, get my stuff set up, then go put my shirt and tie and all that stuff on. I don't load in what I load into any wedding venue in street clothes. Had an accident once where I ripped a really nice shirt because somebody bumped into me. So I wear hoodies, sweats, hoodies, and jeans when I load in. But by the time I'm actually DJing for the wedding, I'm all cleaned up and looking pretty as this ugly mug can look. Don't you hate it when these cigarettes go out? But then, from there, I will check with the bar or the manager of the wedding venue. What time is my curfew tonight? Even though the bride and groom say one thing on my contract and rider, I want to check back with them to make sure nothing has changed. Then from there, I will check what time they want me to call last call and start kicking people out. Or if there's any other announcements the venue wants me to make. From there, I will check in with the bride or the groom. I want to go over at least once their entire, the finer points of the rider that I have. So I have all the information for the Grand March, first dance, all that stuff lined up properly, and to make sure everything is good to go for the afternoon of the wedding. Because here, as a wedding DJ, and it's something I didn't really understand at first or didn't take into full consideration at first, as a wedding DJ, people are entrusting you to one of their biggest events in their life. Next to like college or high school graduation and having kids, your wedding is a really important thing and means a lot to the people I'm working with. And when I first started doing the wedding DJ thing, I didn't have that in mind as much as I do now. But there was a wedding, and what really keyed me into it was there was a wedding I did. It had to be about a year ago. And it was the father-daughter dance. And more often than not, the dance kind of gets me because every time I see it, I think of when I'm going to probably have to give Mirabelle away as when she gets married. And now I see that. And from that wedding, I remember, now the bride's dad was this 6-foot-something, 300-pound gargantuan biker. Dude was huge. I mean, covered in ink. But for the day, he did wear a tux, the whole 9 yards, no biker stuff at all. But you just knew. And I watched that man on their first dance cry like a little girl. For starters, it made me cry. I'm not going to lie. The older I've gotten, I've probably gotten way soft. Mirabelle has definitely helped that. But with that in mind, it's like that, seeing how that affected him, it made me realize how important every aspect of of a wedding day is. And it changed how I work on weddings and all of that, and how I handle everything at a wedding. So with that in mind, and it's also why for 2019, I decided I wasn't going to drink and party and be stupid like I had been for 2018. In 2018, I was really reckless, partying a lot, drinking a lot, the whole 9 yards. And when I really came to that realization that the trust that people instill in a DJ is enormous. And I wanted to rise up to that occasion and be just a little bit better than I had the year before, or try to be better than everyone else in my market. Whether I succeed or not, I don't know. I would like to think that over the last few years, or over this last season, that the proof is in the pudding. Knock on wood. Thank you, Hunter. I'm booked into 2021. A lot of that is referrals. And so I would like to hope I'm doing something right. But knowing that people instill that level of trust in their DJs, excuse me, got the crazy puppy. When I came to that, really, realize how important that was, it seriously made me change everything in what I do. It also made me change my contract a little bit, my rider, and take that next step to be better than I was the day before. And here, so I don't know who needs to hear this, but I live in La Crosse, and I see, this area more so than I see in others, that people get down on themselves. I can't do this, blah, 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 blah. No. You can do it. You can put whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve. Success is there for you. You just have to find a way to achieve it. And you can't quit. You can't give up. Daisy. Now, luckily, in the DJ thing, I got gifted enough to walk out of the top nightclub in La Crosse and go on my own. But nevertheless, getting to that point was all hard work. This year, I finished in the top 3 DJs in the La Crosse market. I've only been in La Crosse for 3 years, so that was a blessing. And so every little piece is going, keep that, you see something like that, or I booked this far out, or I've picked up a couple more club gigs. It shows that I'm doing something right. And honing in on perfecting that or making it better every time is my newest objective. But I haven't quit, I haven't given up, and I have pushed as hard as I can since day one of me DJing up here in La Crosse. Luckily, thankfully, people have taken notice, book me, keep me in their clubs, book me for their weddings. So when I realize that level of trust, it makes me take this very seriously. More so than I've taken any other job I've had before. More so than the Red Line Tap in Chicago and Heartland Cafe. More so than when I was a debt collector trying to make as much possible money as I could. But unfortunately, my motives in the late 90s, I was in a bad place. And that's another point, hey, being in that bad place, I've worked my way out of it. If I've done it, if an ass clown like me can, y'all can too. But so, today I'm getting ready for my wedding. I'm putting songs up onto my Mixcloud page for my mixes from last night. And I'm pretty happy that I'll be at Celebrations. I get to see some of my favorite people at the wedding venues. And the manager of Celebrations, who hooks me up with a lot of great weddings. And knock on wood, I've never had a bad wedding at Celebrations. Well, I take that back. I had one bad wedding. And that was because I was working for a company. And my wedding got switched on me last minute. And I was nowhere near prepared for this wedding. Fortunately, it got talked out a little bit. And yeah. But that was the only bad wedding I've ever had there. Ever since my first wedding in this market, actually, was at Celebrations. And this was almost 2.5 years ago now. And they paid me to stay late. The bridal party, members of them fell off the party bus coming back from pictures. It was what could be called a shit show of a wedding, but it was a whole lot of fun. And for some reason, Celebrations has that feeling, that vibe that just makes makes me want to give that party vibe even more. So there's that. Now, if you are getting married, Celebrations has a great caterer or catering staff with a great chef, Sean McManus. If you ever get a chance to eat something from Sean, I highly recommend it. He's possibly one of the best chefs in this market. So I know I'll be eating good today. I'll be spinning some good tunes. And I like the songs that bride and groom have asked for. Nothing crazy, very straightforward. So yeah, I'm getting everything prepared now. I'm about to hop in the shower and clean my ugly mug up as I load my sets from last night and get ready for this weekend of weddings. It's my full-on peak of wedding season, where I'm doing at least, on average, 2 weddings a week from now until the end of November. In fact, here's the wireless box for my mics. But if you look under here, since I don't like working in my office that much downstairs, I only like going down there to do posters and stuff, these are all the weddings I have left for the remainder of the year. Knock on wood. I'm thankful to be booked as well as I am. Or as much as I am. And one thing I have done, I've been told by several DJs in this market and other markets that my pricing's too low. That for what I do, my skill set and all of that, I should be charging a lot more. So, For 2020, yeah, I've raised my prices a little bit, not much. My all-day price in La Crosse will be between $800 and $900 for an entire day, ceremony through the end of the night. And that's with all my lights. You pick what you want out of my setup. I can give you club-like lights. I can give you something very stripped down and basic. It includes up to 20, actually, it can conclude up to like 30 par cans, pending my dance floor light configuration. Wireless microphones. What else do I include? Travel, setup, breakdown, any music I need to download, anything I need to make your wedding successful outside of like renting a generator or buying new gear, I provide for your reception, all in one flat price. If you need an extra sound system, so I'm doing the ceremony outside and the wedding inside, that's included as well. I'd like to think what I offer exceeds almost offer based on price exceeds almost everyone in my market. Some companies will charge you, okay, here's my base price, $600 for the reception. Oh, you want uplights? Add $100. Oh, you want dance lights? Add $100. Oh, you want this, that, and the other? Add this. No. I've decided that after working for some companies and working in this market and seeing what other DJs offer, all my pricing is all-inclusive, one flat rate. It makes it easier for everybody. And on that note, I'm about to get ready. So I hope everyone has a great day. This is DJ Bretley signing off for now. I'll check in with everybody once I get to Celebrations today. I want everybody to see my wedding setup. It's a slightly more basic setup today, but it's going to be a fun wedding because we are at Celebrations. All right, everybody, I will talk to you all soon. Thank you, Chandra. I really appreciate that. All right, happy Friday, everybody. To everyone out there, my friends, my haters, and the trolls, happy Friday.